Kometa and welcome back to my Valkyries of Midgard. My name is Torres. I'm a writer and hopefully someday soon, future author. This is the last Wednesday of the month, so here is another book to review. Now, although I'm almost done with Frozen Tides, I only have about 6 chapters left, this is actually the 4th book in this series. So instead of just reviewing the 4th book in the series, I'm just going to, review the 1st book in the series, Fallen Kingdoms by Morgan Rhodes. Disclaimer, if you plan or will watch this review, know that what I say is purely my own opinion. This is not gospel, this isn't written in stone, and my opinions could change. If my opinions don't align with yours, then that is okay. We are all humans, and we are all subjected to like and dislike different things. There is no wrong in that. However, if you still don't care and will plan to bitch and complain regardless, just click away because I'm not going to pay attention to you. Now that everything has been said, let's get to this book. The summary synopsis of Fallen Kingdoms goes as follows. By the way, there is a small bit in the back of the book and on the inside flap, so bear with me. It's the eve of war. Choose your side. Princess. Raised in a pampered luxury, Cleo must now embark on a rough and treacherous journey into enemy territory in search of magic long thought extinct. Rebel. Jonas, enraged at injustice, lashes out against the forces of oppression that have kept his country cruelly impoverished. To his shock, he finds himself the leader of a people's revolution, centuries in the making. Sorceress. Lucia, adopted at birth into a royal family, discovers the truth about her past and the supernatural legacy she is destined to wield. Heir. Bred for aggression and trained to conquer, firstborn son Magnus begins to realize that the heart can be more lethal than the sword. In the 3 kingdoms of Midgard, magic has long been forgotten, and while hard one peace has reigned for centuries, a deadly unrest now simmers below the surface. As the rulers of each kingdom grapple for power, the lives of their subjects are brutally transformed, and 4 key players, royals and rebels alike, find their fates forever intertwined. Cleo, Jonas, Lucia, and Magnus are caught in a dizzying world of treacherous betrayals, shocking murders, secret alliances, and even unforeseen love. The only outcome that's certain is that kingdoms will fall. Who will emerge triumphant when all they know has collapsed? Okie dokie. Now here is my review for Fallen Kingdoms by Morgan Rhodes. Fallen Kingdoms Book 1 is a young adult epic fantasy novel. As per usual, we'll be going over 6 different categories to review this one book. So, let's get started. First up, we will be going over the book cover. And this cover I will be giving 5 stars. I love this cover. I thought the painted work was wonderfully well done and conveys mystery. Who is this hooded character? And where is he? What's with the hawk flying in the background? Did I forget to mention I love illustrated work? Next up, we have summary and tagline, which you already heard me read it. I will also give this category 5 stars. Now, I thought it was annoying that some people will say this book is like Game of Thrones, but for teenagers. It's like they don't know that teenagers read Game of Thrones already. If they want to read Game of Thrones, they can just read that book instead of what is only considered like Game of Thrones. Fallen Kingdoms is only like Game of Thrones because of the multiple POV chapter perspectives. The summary gives us 4 character names and their perspectives, plus an overall, and I was very surprised by that actually. I liked it. After reading the summaries, I was very much hooked. I wanted to know what was going to happen, and that is what I want from a summary. Pretty much surprised the hell out of me, and you might have me hooked. The next category we will be talking about is characters, and characters I will be giving 4 stars. Okay, so this book has multiple perspectives, but instead of naming the chapters after character names, they are named after places the chapter takes place in, which will get confusing, especially when the main POV characters are in the same place. This book has a total of 6 POVs. The first one is Princess Cleona Bellows, who has 12 POV chapters. I do not like this character. Her naivety verged on idiocy way more times than it should. Cleo also doesn't think. She didn't take things seriously, especially when a friend of hers murdered a boy from a neighboring country and started a war with said country and another, and allows people to walk all over her and complains about it later to her older sister. I understand that she wants to save her older sister and takes initiative about it, but when being forced to marry a vile boy she doesn't care about, she just lets it happen and complains to her sister about it. She complains a lot. Cleo was also involved with a short-lived romance that felt so forced. I'm sure it was only added because this book is YA. Next character is Jonas Agalon, who has 9 POV chapters. I was indifferent about this character for the entire book. I didn't like him nor hate him. I was just meh about this character. I did feel bad for what happened to his brother in chapter 1 of this book, but once we entered this character's POV, I was just not feeling him at all whatsoever. Next character is Prince Magnus de Mora, who has 10 POV chapters. Magnus is probably my favorite character in this entire book, and sadly, my only fave. He is compelling, conflicted, and just someone I live to read about. Magnus has love for his sister, care for his mother, and both fear, admiration, and hatred towards his father. He forces himself to wear a metaphorical mask so that he can hide his emotions, not only from his father, but also those he doesn't trust, and may be glad to see him and his father dead. He also may have a forbidden feeling towards a certain someone, but you will have to read and find out what that is. The next character we have is Alexius, who has 4 POV chapters. Now, I don't really have much of an opinion on this character because out of the main POVs, he has the least amount of chapters and the shortest. His chapters have had me intrigued. It's just too bad that when in his chapter POV, there wasn't any explanation on this world's magic system. Now we have Princess Lucia de Mora, and she only has 2 POV chapters. I thought she was a really sweet character, with special abilities. She has love for her brother, but once things come forth about her and her family, she now isn't sure if she can trust them. Now we have Theoranis, who has 2 POV chapters. I feel like his POVs only serve to show what is happening in the country region of Aranos, at least for one of the chapters. He was a character I was liking until an unbelievable revelation came to him, and I just rolled my eyes so hard that I almost threw this book against the wall. There are other characters in this book. Some I like, some I was just whatever they are there, and others I just wanted them dead very, very soon. There are some vile characters in this book is what I'm saying. The next category we'll be going over now is world building, which I actually give 3.5 stars. There was some world building, especially history between the 3 countries, but the magic system wasn't explained in detail, and I'm pretty sure it is meant to be left as a mystery in this book. Magic to many has been considered legend and fairy tale. Barely anyone practices it or uses it except maybe those from the middle country of Palesha, because there is a chance that magic is what is killing their lands, but not the other 2, which I thought was weird. Why is only the middle land dying, but not the north or south? Also, people from the south are just pompous dicks that definitely don't care about their neighbors, even when their neighbors are dying of hunger with lack of food and harvest. The people of the north are terrifying because they don't like change or happiness. I'm not kidding. Even specific colors are banned because it represents what the south is, so yeah. The next category we'll be talking about now is story, which I will give 4.5 stars. The story is nothing like Game of Thrones. Yeah, there is death, but I mean, if you're going for that dark fantasy appeal, you will have to kill characters, both minor and major characters. Some of the deaths in this book were definitely heart-wrenching, and I felt bad for the characters that had to witness their loved ones die before them. And by the end of the book, when the war started, I was very much at the edge of my seat. Lastly, my overall rating of this book will be 4 stars because of the characters. Out of the 3 MC, I only cared for 1, and to me, that's bad. I'm still intrigued by the world, so I hope to learn more of the magic in the later books. I also look forward to where the story is going. If you aren't a fan of cliffhangers, then I'm afraid you may have to skip this one, because it ends in one. As for the first-time readers looking to read fantasy, I will say this. Give it a shot if you think you are capable of handling characters' death and horrendous characters that don't care how others feel or think about them. And there you have it, my review for Fallen Kingdoms by Morgan Rhodes. If you didn't like my review, oh well, we're all different people and we can't all like or hate the same things. If you read this book, then what did you think of Fallen Kingdoms Book 1? Tell me what you think in the comments down below. If you like how I review books and this review in general, then please like this video by clicking that thumbs up button and scroll on down a bit to click that red box to subscribe to my channel. Follow by clicking that bell icon so that you can be notified when I upload new videos. Also, please feel free to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Tumblr. My Linktree link will be down below. Thank you so much for watching. Happy reading and writing. Bye-bye!